We are here at the 2026 Philadelphia Dancesport Championships with Forrest Vance. How are you doing tonight, Forrest?
Doing great. Having a great time here in Philly.
Amazing. What have you gotten to explore Philadelphia at all, whether when you got here or on previous trips?
On a previous trip when I came, I went down to see the Liberty Bell and saw all the big things that I should see while I was here. I had a great time. It's a great city.
Fantastic. And how have you been enjoying the energy of the competitors in the ballroom over the course of the past day and a half?
It's very exciting. Everybody's very excited to be here. The ladies are adorned beautifully, and the teachers are very well appointed, and everybody seems to be doing their thing very well.
I love it. And it's been a while since, you've been off the floor, but we still remember your dancing. It's something that is part of our history, especially in the American rhythm world, correct?
Right.
So tell me a little bit about what you've seen as the changes in the American rhythm style over time from when you were on the floor to the transition of what you're seeing on the floor now.
Well, I mean, there's always change in dancing. That's the exciting thing. Unfortunately, a lot of the couples, and we've been talking about a lot of lectures, is they're losing the groundwork and the characteristic of the dances, and of course the communication between the man and the woman. When you think about dancing, we're supposed to look like music sounds, and we're supposed to communicate with our partner. Like your body says something to me, my body says something back. Your eyes or your face or your mouth says something to me, and mine should say something back. And that's the communication that's kind of missing. Unfortunately, even in my era, we did it as well. People sometimes go for speed and gymnastics and flexibility, but remember that some people are fast, some people aren't. Some people are flexible, some people aren't. But that doesn't, to me and to a lot of my colleagues, that's not a deciding factor on like a winner, because a winner has to have more depth. So when they dance, it has to have more substance. So when you see, a lot of couples and they're all fast, or they're all pretty, and they're all young, and they're all handsome, you see that sort of thing. That, of course, is a great plus. But we're always looking for someone special. And unfortunately, a lot of people are not strong enough to try to be special. There's a lot of people who are good dancers, but they're followers, because everybody wears the same, hair the same, makeup, dress, choreography's the same. So a lot of people are hard. They find it hard to venture out and try to be a unique commodity. And that's the true thing about a champion. Like, you'll interview me and you'll interview some of my other colleagues that were also a champion, and we were all competing at the same time, but we all had our own look, our own identity, our own style. And I know for a fact when I was champion, I never thought I would walk in and win, because I thought there's 5 of us that are all special, and we all have our own look and our own style for choreography and what have you, and it could be anybody's night. So you always had to be on your game, because we were all different. So it actually became more of like a taste for a judge. Like, what taste is giving you the best energy tonight, or the best flavor tonight, and it could change. But a lot of times now, we don't get that. And I know personally for me, that's what I'm starving for when I'm judging. I don't try to be I don't like to be political. I like to color in the night. If you're not the champion, sometimes my marks would go anywhere from 1st to 6th. If the true champion isn't there. And that's just to show you that lots of people have different highlights, are good at some points and not so good at others. And of course, when we look, we don't know what they're on. I may not have time to come back. So that's what I think about what has changed, and kind of like what I'm looking for at the same time that makes it special for me. Being a champion, I think most of us that went through the struggle, I take my job very seriously. I really try to evaluate to the best of my ability, because I can make or break someone's career, or shatter their happiness, or shatter their dream. And that's very important to me, because it was very important to me when people did that to me. not maybe thinking about what I felt, what the true dream was.
Thank you so much for sharing that, because we all, we talk to so many people who judge, who compete, and we get all these different perspectives, and so it's always nice to hear where each person is coming from and what they prioritize, because I think a beauty in our industry is that we can have different things that we value, and I think that is some of what brings the uniqueness to the floor. So when you're thinking about, and you were talking about couples setting themselves apart, not just looking all the same, what for you, if you were to describe to someone, okay, I want to see what makes you special, what types of things are you looking for? Are you looking for them to show, okay, are you someone with speed? Are you someone with more action? Or are you looking for something that's more about their personality or their interactions between each other, or a mix of everything?
Well, it's a good question, because, a lot of times when couples come to me, I just have a couple that I have been working with lately, and when I came in, I said, first of all, I want you to know that I'm not the coach for everybody, because if you just want a Band-Aid, I'm not a Band-Aid guy. I want to teach you how to develop something. So if I think something is not good, I'm going to tell you why I think it's not good, and I'm going to try to help you decide how we can fix it. Most of the time on the lessons, I usually say, what are your best assets? What do you do extremely well? Because everything that I was put down for made me a champion. Because I had my own look, I had my own style, I had my own beliefs. I never talked back to anyone, but I wanted to remain me and not take me out of it. They say, oh, well, boys don't do that. If you look now, all the boys spin. When I danced, none of the boys spun. And when I spun, they said, well, you shouldn't spin because the girls do the spinning, the boys don't. I go, but I can. And they go, well, it detracts from your girl. I said, so give her something else you can do while I'm spinning. But I don't think you should take away my attributes to make her look stronger or make me look weaker or more average. So, when you're trying to develop a style, you have to think as a team, what do we really want to look like and how do we want to develop this? Because some people, one of the things I said, most people are afraid to stand still. It's very difficult to stand still and do nothing well.
Yes.
Because, just the fact that you would just stop and move your hand and follow your hand like you're pulling a string, and then drop the string, and then look back at somebody. That's a very little thing, but it's something that's very effective, because you'd be surprised how many people would say, did you see what he did? It looked like he was pulling like something, and then he actually let go of it and ask you what you thought about it. So you could do things like that with your hands, your body, your eyes, your face, but people don't go to that depth. So that's the main thing for me, is depth. Let's try to give it quickness, flexibility, speed, characteristic style, depth, communication between your body, your face, your eyes, your shoulders. The fingers. Everything should have a lusciousness and a reason behind it, not just stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, when I watch things, I go, okay, I see a lot of stuff. Nobody, what do you hear? I'm thinking, I hear this fabulous music, and nobody looks like the music sounds. Mm-hmm. So it's a little like, okay, my teacher used to say to me, you were the best of the worst, that's why you won. Or you were the least offensive. Those are the two things that my main coach said to me most of the time. Never gave me a big head, never really gave me praise, but he would always say something like that. And that's pretty much true, because somebody's got to win.
Yep.
And whether I was good, bad, or ugly, I happened to win that night, but everybody else could have been uglier than me.
Yeah, and I appreciate you sharing that, because I know all of us out there on the floor are always wondering, what can we do to grow? What can we do? We're all trying to be the best.
Right.
And so what can we do to truly enjoy our experience on the floor while working to be the best while everyone's doing the same thing?
Yeah, I just want to say, the other thing I want to say is it's very, very difficult to be strong enough to do that. Because there's so many influences, even psychologically in your own mind, there's things that say I probably shouldn't do that, or, I'm taking a big chance, but you have to be strong. You have to be afraid. What's the worst you can do? You want to be different. Yeah. Even when, you're the champion, after a period of time, you still want to change it up. Like even the final year that I won my championships, I was like, I took on a whole different coach, a whole different approach for my final year because I wanted to come out doing something different and looking different. And I did just that. Of course it was scary. I mean, I was already champion, so I'm taking a big risk. But then everybody's saying, well, look how much it changed and it's different. I didn't want to, stay in the same thing with them expecting to see the same thing, which even for me was redundant and boring.
Yeah.
So if you're not constantly kind of changing it up, but the big thing is don't lose your own personal identity of who you are. We all dress a certain way. We all think a certain way. Be that person and bring it to the floor because I can't duplicate you. Mm-hmm. I could put somebody in that green dress. I can fix their hair like that, but I can't duplicate you because you have your own essence about you. Mm-hmm. I can't give somebody an essence. And that's what people are afraid to do. In my opinion.
And 100%. I mean, we all talk about how to be authentic.
Yeah.
And many people I don't even think necessarily know what authentic is for themselves. And so in life, that's a discussion, and on the floor even more so. So thank you so much for sharing all that insight. We're going to leave you with one last question. If you were to hang out with a group of ballroom people outside of the ballroom, what would you want to do most as an outside activity with your ballroom people?
With my ballroom people? Well, I'm probably one of the most boring people in the world because I'm very family oriented. So I enjoy my home, I enjoy my pets, I enjoy my partner, and I just enjoy life. It's funny, I had a discussion with one of my colleagues the other day because I said, I never hear any gossip about you or any negativity. I'm like, because I believe I'm responsible for my own happiness. And so I never, even when I was dancing, I never blamed a judge. I never blamed my partner. I tried just to say, well, I'll just get better. Because my life is about my personal happiness, and my happiness is different than yours. So I don't really have a lot of sports. I mean, I have a beautiful home and I have a nice car, and those are the things that I strive to have as I was growing up. And when I became a champion, that was what my goals were for me. And if somebody doesn't like my home or I don't care because it makes me happy. I don't try to get things or accomplish things or do things that I don't like doing. People tease me. They go, "You want to go for a hike?" I go, "I don't walk unless there's music playing and I'm teaching." Exactly. I don't really enjoy walking, but I love dancing. I love the energy in the room and the people so eager to learn. So I hope that kind of answers the question. But
yes, it does.
Not a golfer. I mean, I like everything. I like bowling. I like all kinds of stuff.
Bringing your friends into your home and sharing that home and that happiness and joy, right?
I built my home so I could have a party house. Yes. And when I have people over, they go, "Oh, we want to go here, there, and everywhere to see in Scottsdale." And then when they get to my house, they go, "I think we'll stay here and just sit by the pool and listen to music and play."
Yes. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Forrest. You've always been a unique, authentic individual on and off the floor, which is always an inspiration for those of us who are trying to keep ourselves in that same direction. So thank you for sharing your insights, and we are grateful to have you here at the 2026 Philadelphia Dancesport Championships.
Thank you very much for the interview. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely.